When I was a little girl, I would hear the older saints say, I have a charge to keep and a God to glorify. And growing up, we hear those things and they don't mean anything to us. We kind of let them pass. But as I get older, those old sayings just take root, and I understand them and I feel them. I've got a God to glorify, and some things are bigger than us. Some things are not about us. Some things have to occur simply for the glory of God. As always, it is such a pleasure to be here for the Sanctuary Sunday School, powered by the Sanctuary Academy. And I'm so excited because I have launched a whole new YouTube channel just in the last week, and it's called The Sanctuary Kids. You may not know this, but I have been a Sunday school teacher, sunshine band, youth leader for over 30 years. I started at 16 years old working with children, and they are my passion, and they know it because they know they can get anything out of me. I had the opportunity to assess some homeschooling situations, and some of our children are really suffering. There are some of them who are going to actually miss an entire school year of quality instructions for various reasons and not having access to what they need. The Sanctuary Kids not only is going to teach about the Bible, but I will have instructional videos with reading and math, core academic skills. I have teachers who are partnering with me to share content. I also have professional illustrators and animators to make high quality videos, because I'm kind of tired of the church being the raggediest building in the community and being behind on everything and having antiquated systems. I'm not giving that to our children. I'm determined to make this a quality site. So it's going to be just like ABC Mouse and all of those. There will be the Sanctuary Kids, and I'm asking for your help. I rarely do this, but I would like for you to not only subscribe your children and grandchildren, but also to donate. Whatever you can donate via Cash App or PayPal to help me make this a state-of-the-art, comprehensive educational resource for our children. Once again, the Sanctuary Academy Kids. I'm super excited about this because I truly do love the babies. So join me in this endeavor. Again, contribute anything that you can, and I appreciate it. Also, you should be seeing links where you can click and share to donate, to subscribe. So definitely go there and also give me feedback on what you think of the channel. Welcome to Sanctuary Kids. I'm Miss Val. I created this space for us to have fun learning and exploring the Bible. So get permission from an adult and subscribe today. This week's subject is about the glory of God, and we know the story, so I'm not going to tell the story word for word. I'm going to deliver it to you as God is delivering it to me. And we're talking about Jesus and Lazarus and Mary and Martha, and how he was there. And again, they stretched this story out over 3 lessons. And so this lesson focuses on the glory of God. Now we know that Jesus is the Son of God, and he has all power. He could have come there and spoken a word or touched Lazarus and healed him. He could have healed Lazarus from where he was without even coming to Bethany to prevent him from dying. But God saw fit to let Lazarus be sick, allow him to die, allow him to be buried and in the grave for 4 days before he came. That struck me, and it also encouraged me, because it's been a trying year or several months, even several years for me. A lot has happened, and when you know that you're living right, and when you know that you're doing all you know how, and you're trying to please God, you're trying to treat people right, sometimes you don't understand why you've got to go through so much. And the enemy will talk to you and discourage you and make you feel like your living is in vain, when it most absolutely is not. But some things have to happen for the glory of God. And I've learned that. And I've learned not to complain. So while I'm going through my struggles, I may allude to it, I may ask for prayer, but you're never going to hear me complain about what's going on, because I prefer to tell it in my testimony to the glory of God. Once God brings me through it, not if perhaps he should, but when he brings me through it, because I know that he surely will. So we see Jesus here with Mary and Martha, and we talked about last week the faith that they had in Jesus, understanding that Jesus did in fact have the power over sickness and over death, but he saw fit to let Lazarus die. Now, even though he is raising him from the dead in this lesson, Mary and Martha still went through the agony of dealing with the sick brother, watching him die, then burying him. That was real. They felt that. They didn't know that he would come back. They went through that, and they suffered through that, and they had to suffer through that for the glory of God, because we know the power that Jesus had. And even at Bethany, when he got there, he went all the way to the tomb, right? And he began to talk to his father, and in so many words, he said, God, you already know. I got the power. I can do anything. I can just sit here and blink, whatever I choose to do, and make Lazarus get up. But see, there are people here who don't believe. And we talked about in the last week lesson how Bethany wasn't that far from Jerusalem. So there were people in town in Bethany who had come to comfort Mary and Martha, and they were there. So they were all there to witness the glory of God. And isn't it amazing how God sets things up for his glory? So sometimes when it feels like it's really hard and you don't understand what's going on, you don't know why you got to go through this, think about it this way: God is setting me up to glorify him, and it's all part of God's plan. You got to understand that he's always in control, and at the end of the day, God gets the glory. And if God can use you and your salvation to get the glory, to manifest his power to those who don't believe, that is a wonderful thing. And we said he went there, and so again, Jesus didn't have to say anything, he didn't have to move, he didn't have to blink, he didn't have to do anything. He had the power to raise Lazarus. But for the benefit of those who were there watching, it says that Jesus cried with a loud voice for Lazarus to come forth. And he could have whispered, like I said, he could have just thought in his mind, and Lazarus would have got up. But that loud voice calling him out was for the benefit of the viewers and for the spectators and even the doubters, to show the manifestation of the glory of God. And even the 4-day span, after 4 days, you can't say it was a trance. You can't say he just passed out. No human being can survive being buried for 4 days. He was in his bedclothes. That's why when Jesus called for him, he said, you got to loose him. The man is dressed up like a mummy. Loose him so he can see. Loose him so he can walk. Loose him so he can move around and give God the glory. And that's where, in church, the phrase comes from, where it says loose here, because the restraints that are holding you back, that are preventing you from glorifying God, have to be loosed so that you can be set free. So he told them to loose Lazarus so Lazarus could come forth and he could be revived. We are living in a time where we really need a revival, and I've just been praying, Lord, send your revival, because as people of God, it is getting hard, it is getting taxing, it is getting draining. The things that we've got to endure, and literally getting phone calls every single day that someone is sick, or someone has passed away, or someone has lost something. But in the midst of this, God is still glorified. Allow God to get the glory out of your life. And these things that we're going through, these things that are coming against us, let's shift that mindset. Let's change that narrative. We are not going to complain about what we're going through. I refuse to complain at all. I am going to go through it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to bear it. And I'm going to know that Jesus is right there with me. And if he should tarry, as he did with Lazarus, I must know that Jesus is moving on my behalf, and that God always gets the glory.